We have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing.
Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
And Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find significant. I've watched that video countless times, and it definitely looks like she says white girl.
WNBA should investigate Brittney Griner's seemingly uttering profanities about white.
Brittney Griner just managed to do the impossible. Make headlines for all the wrong reasons by launching a jaw-dropping verbal attack on Caitlin Clark, reportedly calling her a trash white girl in the middle of a game caught on live TV.
Appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and effing white girl.
Brittney Griner is in fact a man. If you've got Caitlin Clark's back, now's the time. Drop a I stand with CC in the comments to show some serious love and support for the Queen of the Court. Let's go.
Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
Tensions had been building in the league for a while, but Griner took that tension and turned it into a live-action meltdown. After fouling out of a hard-fought game, cameras zoomed in on her as she walked off the court, clearly mouthing the words trash-throwing white girl. And yes, it was crystal clear.
The Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
That clip spread across the internet faster than a half-court buzzer beater. This wasn't just standard trash talk. It was ugly, it was pointed, and it had layers of hate baked into it. Even seasoned analysts were stunned. Skip Bayless didn't hesitate. He said flat out that if a white player had dropped a racial slur on national television, their career would be over by lunchtime.
Who I can't stand. Sad that she's a Baylor grad.
Yeah,
she called her a trash expletive white girl. That was the lip reading. Yes, trash white girl. Trash. Blanking white girl.
Yet, when Griner did it, crickets, no fine, no suspension, not even a strongly worded memo. The silence was louder than a missed free throw in an empty gym, and fans weren't having it.
WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such? I guess they are. I guess they're okay with it. Obviously, the league would very much not be okay with a white player saying black girl on the bench in anger and getting caught by TV cameras. That would be an immediate suspension, if not a career ender for said white.
Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark has been the target of this kind of hostility since her very first WNBA warm-up. She's been pushed, shoved, and knocked around. Not because she plays dirty, but because she's dominant. And yeah, let's not pretend race isn't playing a role here too.
It is completely possible that fucking white girl was about Caitlin Clark's popularity, about her stature, about her impact on the entire league.
Griner's outburst didn't come out of nowhere. It was the latest in a disturbing pattern. This wasn't a moment of passion. It was a calculated, venom-filled insult broadcast to the world. And from a league that loves to say there's no place for hate. Their silence is deafening when the hate is aimed at Caitlin.
Abused repeatedly. We have shown you videos just getting elbowed, getting crushed, inbound passes where they ram into her, just absolutely abused, and there clearly is a racial element to it.
And now the fan base wants receipts. They want to know why the league shrugged this off like a missed layup. Why is Brittney Griner being shielded from consequences when she clearly crossed the line on national television? Let's flip the script. What if Caitlin Clark had said the same thing?
WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism.
Imagine if Caitlin Clark had called Griner a trash black girl in front of the cameras. It would have triggered media meltdowns, 24-hour news coverage, league-wide statements, and probably a lifetime ban from basketball. No debate, done and dusted.
League would not be okay with a white player saying effing black girl.
Skip Bayless hit the nail on the head again. He said any white player making that kind of remark would be crucified by the media. But Griner, she gets a pass like she just accidentally stepped out of bounds.
Investigation into reverse racism that's going on across the league also.
And when commentators tried to defend her, twisting her words into some weak excuse, please. The footage is as clear as Clark's three-point form. Fans, lip readers, and even neutral reporters all confirmed what they saw. Yet the league is acting like someone just forgot to turn up the volume. It's that kind of selective outrage that's corroding the WNBA from within.
Referring quite clearly, I believe, to Caitlin Clark and a white referee as, quote, trash ass white girl.
The same organization that sprinted to investigate Indiana Fever fans over vague, unverified allegations about Angel Reese is suddenly blind, deaf, and mute when an actual player throws out a racist insult. Make that make sense.
Straight white woman in the WNBA. There is no way that you feel completely safe.
This isn't new for Clark. She's been the league's favorite punching bag since day one, not because she talks trash or flops for calls, but because she's great, she's white, and she's stealing the spotlight from players who think seniority earns immunity. Angel Reese even reposted a meme showing Clark running scared from a fight, captioned, "White girl running from the fade like she's trying to start a beef mixtape."
I don't appreciate the new fans that sit there and yell racial slurs at myself, my teammates, and the people that I play against. Because, yeah, those might be opponents, but those are friends too. You know, they don't deserve that. So I don't appreciate the new fans. I think it's okay to do that.
And the hits keep coming. Players have smacked her in the face, shoved her mid-play, and treated every hard foul like they just won the finals. Yet Clark never reacts. No dirty plays, no cheap shots, just basketball brilliance on full display while enduring more hostility than any rookie ever has.
She reposted. And the implication is, what it says at the top is white, this is how they say girl, G-Y, white gal, G-Y-A-L, running from the fade, like as if Caitlin Clark is basically
Here's the reality check. Every time Caitlin Clark takes a hit, she's expected to zip it and smile, play nice, take the high road. Never mind that she's the one being shoved, slammed, and now verbally assaulted. While she's held to impossible standards, the same media that should be defending her is busy giving standing ovations to her antagonists. The message is loud and clear. Some players get a pass, and Clark gets a target on her back. The league talks about growing the game, but ignoring what's happening to Clark is exactly what's shrinking it.
Roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place, get even with her for all the attention she was getting.
Casual fans, many of whom just discovered the WNBA because of Clark, are watching all this unfold in disbelief. They tuned in to cheer her on, only to see her mocked, physically bullied, and now racially insulted with zero consequences. And what do they get from the league? Not action, not accountability, just silence, slogans, and a shrug. If this is how the WNBA treats its new fan base, don't be surprised when those fans turn the TV off.
The Indiana Fever fan base of being racist, they investigated it. They said those accusations were false. The least that she could do is apologize to our great state and the fans that show up at these games and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Obviously, she's not going to do that. But also, Dan, why isn't the Indiana Fever apologizing to their own fan base for putting them through that, for going through those types of...
So here's the question nobody in the front office wants to answer. Why is Caitlin Clark expected to rise above everything while others get away with anything? Why is a racially charged insult against a white player treated like a minor slip-up, while the same comment flipped would bring the league to its knees? That's the hypocrisy fans are sick of. And unless the WNBA stops ignoring it, those fans will be ignoring the league right back, regardless of the hashtag campaigns painted.
In part, obviously, the league would not be okay with a white player saying effing black girl on the bench in anger.
So here's the question nobody in the front office wants to answer. Why is Caitlin Clark expected to rise above everything while others get away with anything? Why is a racially charged insult against a white player treated like a minor slip-up, while the same comment flipped would bring the league to its knees? That's the hypocrisy fans are sick of. And unless the WNBA stops ignoring it, those fans will be ignoring the league right back, regardless of the hashtag campaigns painted across the court.
NBA without Caitlin Clark remains an attraction that not many people want to watch. Without Caitlin Clark,
is going to massively affect the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is the closest thing that they have to quality play. Caitlin Clark, the Caitlin Clark effect is very real. She is the most valuable player.
Let's be clear. We're not trafficking in conspiracy theories. We're reporting what's already blowing up across social media, news platforms, and even locker room whispers. The rumor mill has gone mainstream. And this time, the debate is being fueled by actual video clips, past posts, and what many are calling a conspicuous absence of transparency. The clip that reignited it all, a topless Instagram story from Griner herself, showing a chest that's unmistakably flat and lacking the usual scarring from top surgery.
Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab stepping, it's the brick. Swing and a miss.
Oh!
Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
That this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram.
Here's what's raising eyebrows. Instagram's AI, notorious for flagging nudity, didn't take the video down. Not after a day, not after a week. It stayed up for nearly 2 years. The implication? The platform's detection software may have classified the torso as male. That, combined with Griner's deep voice, broad frame, and physical dominance, has opened the floodgates of doubt. Even sports fans with no agenda are watching her slam into Clark and wondering, are we even playing on the same field? The rabbit hole goes deeper. A viral anonymous post is making the rounds, claiming that Griner was assigned female only on paper, alleging her mother made the decision and that she's been navigating the sports world ever since with the truth buried.
Person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors, but specifically the AI detection to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a bare female chest, we have to take this down. It obviously assumed that Brittney was.
The theory claims Griner lives and presents as male in every part of life, except when it's time to compete. True or not, it's a narrative the league hasn't addressed. And that's what fans are focused on. Why the secrecy? Today's world values inclusion, yes, but it also demands fairness, especially in elite competition. If there's even a shred of legitimacy to these concerns, then female athletes like Caitlin Clark deserve a league willing to investigate. When someone who plays like a linebacker slams into someone like Clark, smaller, lighter, and clearly more vulnerable, it's no longer just about sportsmanship. It's about safety, equality, and whether the playing field is truly level.
Case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade.
There's this commotion, like a loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's thousands of people just sitting there, watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. And then there's the international angle. Let's not forget Griner was at the center of a massive global incident, arrested in Russia for carrying cannabis, only to be swapped for a notorious arms dealer. Not just any arms dealer, Victor Bout, the so-called merchant of death. That's not just a PR headache. That's a national security trade. An extraordinary level of political influence most citizens can only dream of.
Comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose. It's very disruptive.
So fans are right to ask, how is someone with that kind of baggage still being coddled by the league? Clark, the player making the WNBA relevant again, can't even get a foul called in her favor. It's a question of priorities, of protection, and whether this league is serious about safeguarding its future or just shielding its favorites.
Who are very fond of virtue signaling. But even when it comes to Brittney's exchange for like the Merchant of Death, which is insane, by the way, but had that been just like a straight white girl, my guess is that straight white girl would probably still be rotting in a Russian prison. Male, and therefore being topless on the platform was totally fine. It did not constitute as nudity. Now, some people may speculate, okay, well, is Brittney trans?
Because if there's even a possibility that a biological male is dominating women's sports under false pretenses, that's not just controversial. It's potentially the biggest athletic scandal of the decade. And Caitlin Clark? She's right in the middle of it. Not by choice, not by provocation, but because she's the one everyone wants to watch, whether to cheer her on or tear her down.
Rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
The jerseys, the number 22, the various styles, whether it's a t-shirt with 22, whether it's an Iowa jersey, whether it's a Fever jersey, a throwback, I mean, whatever. The amount of people in yellow 22 apparel is...
Clark came to elevate the WNBA, to bring eyeballs, energy, and excitement. But instead of support, she's met with elbows, insults, and institutional silence. Fans are watching. They're not stupid. They see who's being protected and who's being punished. And it's not the player dragging the league into the spotlight. It's the one dragging others down who's getting a pass.
Score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball. Period.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to...
Meanwhile, the questions surrounding Griner grow louder every week. Yet we get no answers, no clarity, and certainly no reassurance that the league is protecting female athletes from unfair advantages. That's not leadership, that's cowardice. And if the league won't speak up, the fans will. So here's your call to action. If you stand with Caitlin Clark, if you believe she deserves fairness, dignity, and safety, make your voice heard. Drop an I stand with CC in the comments. Shout it from the stands. Support her. Watch the games. Because if the WNBA doesn't step up soon, it won't just be Caitlin Clark who suffers. It'll be the credibility of the entire sport. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on the screen